Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, February the 7th. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. Trading with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, you said we've had a small range day, but you've been, in fact, you're really done for the day because you made your pips.
Yep, I am done for the day. However, we are expanding the range as we speak right now. We're up to about 51 pip range for the day. When I had said that to you, we were at about 46, 47. So we put in a new, and we expanded the range a little bit for at the top side. But now the funny part is that now we've dropped off of that.
Yeah, by 17 pips.
Yeah, and that was a pretty big drop pretty quickly, all within about, what, a half hour or so. Not even.
Well, it looks like the launch pad failed. Let's see, did it make it to the launch pad?
Not on my charts. You got the 39.9.
I got the 39.3.
Yeah, so, yeah, it failed up there. But, and the other thing that's kind of interesting is, I talked yesterday about ranging. We have the potential for some ranging going on right now. And the reason why is, in my chart anyway, I've drawn a support range at the top of it being at 20.4 and the bottom of it being at 16 even. And it looks like it actually bounced off of it. And where I got that support range from is, if you look back about 1, 2, 3, 4 hours ago, we had that was a low that got put in 4 hours ago, which was the low of the day, and I kind of built that around just the midpoint of a big candle that went up out of there. That was the top side with the 20.4 side, and obviously the 16 side was from the low of the day. So I've got that support in there, and it's kind of funny because, I said, like I said, I built that range in, I don't know, hours ago, and it literally came down, touched 20.4, and just I mean, jetted right off of that. And it just shows you that, support and resistance, there's something to that game. And I think it's important to recognize that these are places where I like to call them, and I've said it before in other videos, I'll say it again now, I draw them on the chart because I call them danger zones, because meaning that once you get down there, it's either going to blast through it or it's going to turn around on it. And I don't know which it's going to do. All I know is that when it gets into that area, that's what's going to happen. So what do you do with that? What I do with it is, if I was short and had taken the flip-flop, and I stayed in fact, I did take the flip-flop. I got in at, let me see what my entry was. My entry was at 35.1, and then I got out at 29.7, which was like about 5.5 pips. And the reason why I got out was because, again, it was a little mini range area there, and I said, hey, it's either going to blast through it or it's not. And I said, I'm just going to take my pips off the table. Well, guess what? I was wrong. It blasted through it, but it came all the way down to that 20.4. Well, let's say I'd stayed in that trade. My TP would have been up at about 22, something like that, 21, 22. And the reason why is because once it gets down to that area, I don't know what it's going to do. So the smart money says, take your money.
Yeah, I've got the M30 chart up, and this is kind of a unique look because, we like to tell people to look left. Well, on the M30 chart, where price is now, if you look left, it's in a wick zone. Then you go to the next candle, it's in a wick zone. Then a couple candles over, it's in a wick zone. And then even if you drop below, say candle 2's low, and you look left, you see a bunch of wick zones. And what that tells me is that there's a bunch of buyers right here because they keep pushing the price up.
Yep. You know, the price, it almost looks like price drifts down to that level, and then a bunch of buyers said, "Oh no, you don't."
Yeah, seems like somebody's loading up,
Yeah,
or
you know,
they're
it's sort of
covering
like, you know,
one of the two.
one of the covering, one of the two, yeah. You know, and I don't know which it is, but it's one of those things where, yeah, there's something going on at this level right here, and I'm not sure what it is. And but the thing is, do I need to know?
Yeah,
I don't need to know what is happening. I just need to recognize that it is happening.
yeah,
You know, because if I recognize it is happening, then I can go and, you know, make a plan as to how I can take advantage of it, how I can make opportunity here.
yeah.
So,
But
and
I was going to say, I just scrunched up the M30 chart, and looking at this yesterday's launch pad at the 40, 40 to 60 level, you can see here it's just moved price on up through it until almost the next launch pad, which, like you said, it
yeah,
didn't quite get there. So
yeah, yeah. If you scrunch up the M30, you know, enough, it's sort of like, you know, man, it just shows you the congestion that's happening at this level now. I mean, it's literally like somebody just went and, you know, you had your 3-year-old take out a crayon and told him to go and, you know, go and color in the box, right? It's not exactly a perfect square or a perfect rectangle, but man, it's certainly close for, you know, you'd be proud of your 3-year-old being able to do that. But it just shows you, though, what's happening right now is that there's some type of, you know, somebody's either accumulating or they're distributing, one or two, you know, and probably maybe even a combination of both. Some people are betting it's going to come down. Some people are betting it's going to go up. But you know, there's a lot of, and the thing is, it's not like there's not, you know, there's not volume here. You can tell that there's volume here just because of the way it's moving. You know, you know, it's moving within that range, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If there was no volume there, it literally would, and you see this sometimes in the stock market, especially. You know, you'll see the price move to a particular level on a particular stock, and it will sit there and literally won't move for. Sometimes I've seen stock not even move a penny, you know, in an entire hour.
oh, by the
You
way,
know,
it's top
and
of the hour, so we got a new H4 coming here.
yep, got brand new H4. But here there's movement. There's you know, there is movement. So that means that something is happening, and there's some type of, you know, fight going on as to which direction we're going to take this thing. And I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday in yesterday's video or not, but I know you and I, Tiara, went and talked about it. The fact is that this is a very, very um, a very, very, how can I say, low impact week in terms of news. There's just virtually no news. I mean, there's no red news today. And I think tomorrow is the first red news we have all week, which is unemployment claims. And Friday, there's no news, you know. And now that's pretty typical, though, for the first week after an NFP. So that's not an unusual thing to occur. But it's just, it also will, you know, cause some of this, you know, ranging that we're seeing where it's pretty tight range.
Right. And
But
I've got the H4
yeah,
chart up with the fibs from 3 ball to 3 ball. And it's interesting that we've done almost a 50% retrace.
yeah. Just so traders know, coming off of that support area to 20.4, there was also a flip-flop box there. And so you could have taken that trade. I did not take the trade. I'm done for the day. But you could have taken the trade at entry would have been at 25.6 or so. And, you know, it may be even a little bit lower than that. You could have gotten in at. But right now you would have been up about 4.5 pips. It would have been a nice little trade. But that's what we need to do as traders. You know, what we're seeing here is that we see this range. Okay, we recognize for what it is. We see that support area. We see a flip-flop box being, created at that range. Okay, yeah, we're still on an indicator two, so that's one thing to be a little bit cautious about, because you were underneath indicator two at the time, and at the same time you also would have been trading in a red M30, but you had that support area going in your direction. You had and you had that you had the flip flop, and you knew that the top of the hour was going to be coming, so you were going to get a brand new, M30 candle. So there were some reasons to take the trade. Cautious, yes. Optimistic, yeah. So it could have been a really nice little trade there. I mean, now it would have been worth 5 pips.
Right, and he
You know,
could
so you,
and he could have played the cover, meaning that the it's going to go opposite of the previous M30 and run the range from close to open of that M30.
yeah, yeah. I mean, the M30, it's funny because you just look at the chart, and it doesn't happen every candle, okay? But it happens so often where exactly what you said, where you get a green one, then you're going to get a red one. You get a green one, then you get a red one. And sometimes what will happen is you may get a green, but it's kind of interesting because it actually covers it and then turns around and then turns the candle green.
Right.
So you got to be, sometimes you'll say, that's not happening. Oh, look at those wicks, my friend.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I've got the M30 up, and you can see with the state change bars on it, and it's almost like we've only got a couple times where the state hasn't changed. I mean, we've gone from outside bar to up bar to outside to down to up, down, back to outside, inside, up, a down, but it was a sucker bar, a down. I mean, it's just past like 4 hours has just been a mess.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is we've just passed the midpoint of that range. I mean, that range that I'm talking about is about 18 and a half pips. And we're now gone about 13 pips into it. So, now you have to start making a decision. Do I take some money off the table or not? Some people would say, you know what, we got a brand new M5 candle just now. You want to take half your money off, put it in the bag, let the other half run and see where it goes. That's one strategy you can use. Those strategies, you know what, I'm just going to stick it, and move my stop loss to, okay, I want to go make sure I always I'm going to make minimum 5 pips, so you're risking 7 to make an additional 5,
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
best of odds.
say something here. I don't know if you noticed it or not, because I just did. It looks like um, we just went across the weekly open at
Yep.
26.24.
Yeah, mine was at 26.30, 30.8, so basically 26.31. Yeah, so I'm 6.5, 7 pips above it right now. Yeah, we were battling that last hour. In fact, I was in a trade over there, battling that because it gets stuck wrapping itself back and forth across the open. And I was like, what in the world is going on here? I don't have no idea why it's having so much trouble yet. Then I saw the weekly open. I said, there we go.
Okay, it looks like we want to
And,
extend the range here.
okay, we just went into the resistance area that I was talking about. So see if it goes and pops out the other side, because my resistance area started at 38.7, and the top of this resistance area I have marked as 43.6. So it's going to break 43.6, and if it does that, then it's off to the races.
Yeah, and you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is almost over. And as you can see, traders, sometimes, if you were listening to us here, there was only, maybe one trade that happened over the past 15 minutes. And sometimes there's no trades, and that's just trading. So you just have to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is a Rumpled One, over and out.